Are you talking?
Nope. I just started. All right, we're here live. Kyle's actually on video. This is the first time I've ever done this. I can't believe he did it. We've got the real live, my buddy Kyle in person live. We're going to preview Titans Chiefs. I'm going to talk a little Braves, and then I'm going to talk a little Manchester United. But before we get started, I want to mention, if you're listening to this in audio form, which you're probably not because nobody ever has, I have gone and acquired some Chipotle. Out of solidarity to AJ Brown, I'm going to eat Chipotle throughout the recording of this to make
No,
sure.
I thought we weren't supposed to support Chipotle now because it almost killed
No,
our
if
receiver.
if AJ Brown can put up the game he put up while pooping himself full of Chipotle, I can at least eat and support him, and maybe I'll poop throughout the video. So I'm going to take my first bite of Chipotle. Kyle, why don't you share your thoughts on the game?
On the game coming up, I think we have a better chance against Kansas City than we did against Buffalo because obviously Kansas City's defense is nowhere near what Buffalo's was, but that kind of scares me too because it's Patrick Mahomes and you can never discount him. And all our cornerbacks are hurt, and apparently we're going into this game with Chris Jones and Jackrabbit Jenkins, which doesn't necessarily constitute a great secondary. So that's kind of scary. But we are going to have Mason Kinsey. I think he could be the game breaker for us. As you can see him, Matt's rolling his eyes.
No, I fully hope Mason
Like I
Kinsey
am.
has the greatest game ever. I would love it if he just broke out and was like that little shaky slot receiver we've been wanting all these years. But I don't know. There's just this weird section of weird's probably too strong a word, but there's a section of Titans Twitter that's just like way too into him, and I just fully like I'm having like Khalif Raymond flashbacks where it's like everybody's expecting like he's going to seize his opportunity. Here he comes. We finally get Mason Kinsey, and I think he's going to have like 12 drops. He'll probably fumble a ball. I hope I'm wrong. I want him to have a great game, but it just feels like one of those weird things where like Titans fan base has gotten very behind this guy and without a lot of evidence to support that he's actually good. It's just like something he might have made one catch in the preseason or something like that got everybody being like, yes, it's Mason Kinsey time. And then he didn't make the roster. And everybody's like, what the? John Robinson is an idiot. How did he not make Mason Kinsey make the roster? I'm like,
I think everybody's hyped up because like none of these shifty like Cooper Kupp and Edelman and all these guys, none of these guys were drafted high. They were found and developed, right? I mean, none of these guys were first round draft picks. So I can see people's excitement in that regard.
I'll tell you what scares me the most about this game is that I'm not that scared of it. I'm like,
yeah, and that's what I meant. Like I was more worried about Buffalo.
Yeah, totally. Bills game, I was like, we're gonna get killed. Chiefs game, I'm like, yeah, their defense sucks too. Maybe it'll just be a shootout, or maybe Mahomes will get a little. Everybody thinks he got right last week. That last week was the Chiefs get right game, but I mean, it was the Washington football team who's terrible. So I mean, I don't know how much stock you can put in that, but at the end of the day, they're still the Chiefs. I don't care what they've done all season long. They're the Chiefs. We'll see what happens. We lost Kyle. It was inevitable. He froze up. Oh, he's back. He's back. He's back. That's from Harry Potter. Let me bring him back in. We lost you for a second.
I just want to see our passing game take a step forward this year. Let's see AJ Brown and Julio Jones just go off.
Yep. It's encouraging. Julio's been practicing, so it seems like he's going to be available in some form. You would think AJ will be more ready to go than he was last week when he couldn't stop pooping himself. Derrick Henry even said they had to make sure they had enough toilet paper available on the sideline for him. So,
did he really?
Yeah. I don't know if that was a serious thing, though. I think it was just kind of making a joke. But yeah. AJ, like as of like Monday or Tuesday, was still telling like the media, like, or he was tweeting like, "Man, this is for real. I still can't hold anything down." It's like, God.
Yeah, like apparently he was pretty jacked up.
Yep. So I want to run one thing by you. I've made one bet on this game, and I think it's the easiest, safest bet maybe I've ever made in my life. I don't like the spread because I could see this game going either way. way. Like I think it's somewhere between like 4.5, 5.5 for the Chiefs. I could see them getting out to a fast start, and then we can't run the ball, and so they just kind of run away, and it ends up being like a 35-17 game. I could see it being shot for shot, down up and down the field, being like a 42-40 game where they win by a field goal. Don't like the spread. Also don't like the over or the under just because it's so unpredictable.
Well, so I think that it's 57, right?
Now the over-under is 57.
I would feel pretty comfortable unless with our offense out there and most people healthy doing the over on this game.
See, my one concern with that is what we haven't really seen this season is like if they get out to like a hot start, if they go up like, 21-20 multiple score lead early and we just flat out can't run the ball anymore, we haven't seen us have to like really, really throw. Like we've always just like even Seattle, we still had time to keep running the ball. Like if they get out to a lead where we all of a sudden can't run the way we want to, that's what concerns me with like the spread and with the over under.
Right. That makes sense.
The bet I like, and I've placed this bet, the Chiefs team total is over 31. And I've placed that bet because I'm thinking in my head, if the Chiefs win this game, they're definitely going to score at least 30 points, right? And if they don't score 30 points, that means the Titans are probably going to win. So it's like if I lose that bet, great. The Titans won the game. I don't care anymore. But
I'd like to know we need a guy that can look up stats for us because I want to know how many games since they've had Patrick Mahomes have they scored less than 31 points? Because I guarantee you it's not many.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't happen often to begin with. The Titans defense is terrible. Like if you tell me if I just don't know what happened at all and you come find me Monday morning and you tell me the Chiefs scored 31 points, I think, it could have gone either way. But if you tell me the Chiefs don't score 31 points, I'm like, well, maybe the Titans might have won that game because I don't see the Chiefs winning this game like 21-17, 24-10, anything like that. If they win, they're going to put up points because that's the nature of their team, and that's the nature of when two bad defenses get on the same field as people are going to, they're probably going to put up points on us. So, like, I can live with that, but I just can't say because if they don't score 31, I don't think they win the game. So if I lose that bet, that means the Titans probably won the game.
I really think, the keys to the game so far are going to be getting pressure on Mahomes because this year he's made a lot of mistakes off pressures. So if we can get after him and force him to make mistakes, he's making a lot of uncharacteristic mistakes. So hopefully he just doesn't turn into badass Mahomes overnight when he plays us.
I mean, they've said so. Kelsey and Hill are both banged up, but they're both expected to play. That's not great. I mean, I'm just thinking about like Janoris Jenkins versus Tyreek Hill, and that just seems like bad news written all over it. Byard, like he's having a bounce back season, but I'm worried we're going to have one of those games where like he gets stuck like covering Kelsey man to man. That's a terrible matchup, even as good as Byard is. So
is Jon Brown on IR, or is he on the roster?
No, I think he's on IR.
Yeah. I mean, Long. So I guess Long will probably be covering Kelsey quite a bit.
Yeah, I would think it'd be some combination of like Long and maybe like Hooker will cheat down, Crookshanks. Maybe they'll do some things to like get multiple people on him.
But I think Moulton's starting to get a little bit better. We might start seeing more of him.
You think how far back our DBs sit off like just okay wide receivers? Like Janoris Jenkins is probably just going to play prevent the whole game against Tyreek Hill. He's probably just going to go to the goal line and just sit there. Be like, Tyreek, you can do whatever. I'm just going to be down here on the goal line waiting for you to get down here.
I don't even know who you put on. I mean, do you put Chris Jackson on Tyreek Hill?
I have no idea. That's why they get paid the big bucks and I don't. One thing that does kind of concern me, Chiefs versus Bills, I was very surprised. It seems like everybody just goes for every single fourth down now. The Bills kicking those 2 field goals early, that ended up being a huge difference in the game where instead of going for like a 4th and 3 and like a 4th and 4 early, they kicked field goals.
And Andy Reid goes for it.
Yeah, he's not going to – if he's down in the red zone with like 4th and short, he's going for it every single time. Like we kind of got away with like Brian – and I think like even Brian Daboll and whatever their coach is, probably he's their offense coordinator, whatever their coach name is, probably would have done it differently because, I mean, the fact they went for it 4th and short when all they needed was a field goal to tie and went for it instead of taking a field goal shows they were kind of even second-guessing themselves at that point in time. But, yeah, Andy Reid's not going to do that. If they get in those situations where it's like 4th and 3rd, they're not kicking field goals. They have I think their punters punted like twice all season.
Yeah, they're going to go.
And he's a good punter too. So it's like we probably sit there and think, oh, we got Brett Kern, let's just punt. Who cares? They're like, no, we're going to go for every single one. So they're going to get points where maybe other teams would have settled for 3 against us. So that's kind of a concern. But like, I don't know. It feels like unless just like my only concern is that if they get out to a big lead early, like if they jump out, like because we have not started well, like weirdly, like it seems like every other team in the NFL, like they script, those first 15, 20 plays. And the offenses come out and do pretty well. It feels like when we're scripted, that's when we're at our worst. Like the first 15, 20 plays, it seems like we don't know what we're doing. And then we get into that later part of the game where it's more improvised. That's where we start to turn alive. But if they jump out to an early lead and they can kind of keep us from being able to run the ball as much as we want to, that's where I think we'll get hurt. But I mean, could be a game like Seattle where even if they get up to a couple score lead, we still feel comfortable running the ball just because Derrick Henry's that damn good.
Yeah, if we can get the pass game going early, that'll really help kind of keep us in the game because, I mean, everybody knows Henry's a second half back.
I felt like what started going good in the second half, I think we talked about this maybe on the last one, was that we started to seem to run plays that were like drawn up and schemed up to get players open. Like there were more designed plays to like get the ball to AJ, to get him in space as opposed to drop back, hope somebody gets open type plays. So hopefully we start with that kind of stuff. Like we're little bunch formations.
Do you think we'll see some of these like screens and dump passes that we've been doing to McNichols to Darrington Evans if he's healthy?
That'll be interesting. I mean, he's active. So, I mean, I think, I think they had at least one more week where they could have waited to activate him. So if they've got him active, they must think they're going to be able to do something with him. So we'll see what that means. We've been waiting for like 2 years to see what he can possibly do is like kind of a change of pace, different style of back. So,
well, and he's supposed to be touted to be more explosive than McNichols. Like if he gets the ball, he should be able to get to do something with it.
Yeah. Certainly hope that's what we get to see here tomorrow. All right. So if you got to give a score prediction right now, what's your score prediction?
I don't like doing predictions. My last one was way off base. I don't know. That's a tough one. Let's say 28-35 Titans.
28-35 Titans. Okay. I'm going to say, so that would have me losing my Chiefs over 31 bet, but the Titans win the game, so I'll take that. I'll say Chiefs 41, Titans 35. That would be my bet probably, or that would be my prediction. But I could see it going ways. Like, and the thing, I think you said this last time we had you on, the fact that if we go just 1-1 in this stretch, getting one over the Bills, if we lose the Chiefs game, it's going to suck. I want to win every game we can, but it's definitely going to be nice to know we got that Bills win off our back. So at least it's not like a 2-game losing streak and we got one win against teams we need to get a win against. So
my camera, I was gonna.
What?
Can I change my camera around? Do you remember our drunken predictions?
Oh, I do not remember this at all. This is bad. Is this like?
This is us predicting our wins after the Arizona game.
Oh, okay. That's it. That's interesting. This is a good look back. What do we have?
So right now we have we both predicted losses in Seattle. I predicted a loss and you predicted a win against Indy. We both predicted wins against the Jets, which we both predicted wins against Jacksonville.
Smart.
And we both predicted losses to the Bills. So we trade those Bills and Jets, and we're actually in pretty good shape. I have us going 11 wins, and you have 9.5.
What did we have for the Chiefs game? Did we not go that far?
We did. We went all the way down. So we both predicted a loss for the Kansas City.
Okay. I feel that makes me feel good about it then. If I was wrong, I don't know. I feel go the opposite of whatever I think because I've been wrong more than I've been right.
Yeah, because we won the Seattle and we won the Bills. We both thought we'd lose those two, but we dropped that one against the Jets. So we'll see. At least after Indy and LA, it gets a little bit better. We got the Steelers, Texans, Patriots, and Jacksonville.
That's what I'm saying. I think at this point, I'm not so much worried about this game and LA. They both feel like games. If we get wins in either one of those, they're kind of like gravy wins. The Colts game feels more important because it feels like they're putting some things together right now. They're like kind of getting over that early season hump. Carson Wentz seems to kind of being okay at this point. Still not good, but they got a big test Sunday because they're playing the 49ers, which I don't think the 49ers have lived up to what everybody thought they were going to be. But I mean, they got a good coach. They got a good defense. They find ways to win games like this.
Trey Lance is out and Garoppolo's in, though. Trey Lance is hurt. Yeah, so I don't know if that'll help or hurt him.
If the Colts win that one, that's going to put a little pressure on us. I still think that Colts game, because I feel if we beat them a second time, for the first time in have we ever beat them in the entire time we've both been in the AFC South together? Have we ever swept the season?
Ooh, probably not. We didn't sweep last year. We traded. No, I think we've either lost them all or traded 1-for-1. Because remember, we had like a 40-year stretch where the Colts beat us all the time.
Well, we never beat Andrew Luck. I don't think we ever beat Andrew Luck. The only year I can think we maybe would have won both games would have been the year where Peyton Manning was hurt before Andrew Luck came in, where Peyton Manning was still there, but he was out the whole season. And they probably would have stolen one from us that year too, for all I can remember, because it seemed like we never could quite beat them twice in a row. So that's hard to see us doing that because we just never do it. But that becomes suddenly if they win this week against the 49ers, suddenly that becomes tougher. But it's like you said, once we get through this whole stretch, in theory, it should be 4 or 5 wins in a row right after that. So if we can get at least one more win in this next 3 games, that's going to be huge for what we want to do.
Well, and we already, if we can get the win at Indy, so the 4-game stretch, the bad 4-game stretch is Bills, Indy, Kansas City, and LA. And we feel confident that we can get a win at Indy. We needed to pick up at least one win against Buffalo, Kansas City, and LA. And we've done that. So we get the win at Indy, and, we split 2-2 on that bad 4-game stretch. I'm not completely disappointed.
Yep. For sure, especially because, I don't think we certainly we would like to be going for the number 1 seed, but I don't think we're going to have a shot at that. I think we probably played ourselves out of that. You can't lose a game like we lost to the Jets and expect to be going for the number 1 seed. So we just can't keep ourselves in the right spot to win the division. We'll be fine and can kind of go from there.
Right, absolutely.
So there's a lot of trade talk this week with all the injuries we had. Was there anybody that piqued your interest that you thought would be actually a realistic thing? I have a hard time seeing anything happening, but I don't know if you came across anything you thought might actually possibly happen.
I honestly nothing. I've never seen Vrabel and John Robinson make a big middle of the season trade. They're in that mentality of next man up so hardcore that I just don't see him picking up somebody. I mean, I'd love an Xavier Howard or Kyle Fuller or somebody like that, but I highly doubt that it'll happen.
Maybe we were hoping for something like that last season, and we got Desmond King. So, I mean, I could see him doing something like that again, kind of a middle-of-the-road cornerback who can just come in and give us a little bit of help. But I don't think we should ever, expect to, have a –
No, they won't make a blockbuster trade.
Superstar. We're not going to be the Rams trading away, every first-round pick for the next 10 years to try to win 1 year. So, I
would trade a first-round draft pick to get a decent corner and a second-round pick because we're better at second-round picks. To me, our first-round picks, they're just garbage anyways. It might as well be a 7th for all good it does us. So I would absolutely trade a first-round for a decent cornerback and a second-round pick from that team.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how we probably have different salary cap structures, but, I mean, I don't know that the Jaguars would ever done this trade because they're in our division, but I mean, if we could have got Jalen Ramsey for 2 first-round picks the way the Rams did, I would have done that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would have fit in our salary structure, and I don't know if the Jaguars would have been willing to trade within the division, but I mean,
probably not.
I think he's worth, especially because when was the last do we have a first round pick right now who's like doing anything close to what Jalen Ramsey's doing for the Rams?
No.
Who's the best first round draft pick that we have on the team right now?
Ryan Jeffrey Simmons.
Jeffrey Simmons. I mean, would you trade straight up right now if like the Rams said we'll trade you Jalen Ramsey for Jeffrey Simmons? Would you do it?
I don't know, man. Maybe. I don't know, man. Simmons is tough.
That's a tough
I know he doesn't have
like
a ton of stats, but he gets like triple teamed, and I don't know, like he's a big part of the defense.
That's a tough question though, because like it's probably a tough one to ask because like if
I trade Bud Dupree.
If we take Jeffrey Simmons out of the pass rush, then that makes Jalen Ramsey's job harder. So like he might not look as good without like somebody like Jeffrey Simmons. Jalen Ramsey probably looks pretty good because he got Aaron Donald like killing quarterbacks in front of him.
Yeah. The defensive front for LA is quite a bit better. I probably wouldn't. I forgot what I was gonna say.
That sounds about right.
I don't know. Hey, when we drafted Harold Landry, did we get him in the second and Evans in the first?
I think so. That sounds right. I don't know off the top of my head, but that sounds accurate because I feel like I just remember like being like, oh yeah, I had no idea who Evans was, but it's like Alabama middle linebacker. That guy's got to be good. Like, oh, he's the next Dante Hightower. Not quite.
Oh, you know what? With your option this year. And they never said anything about Landry. So, yeah, Landry was the second. He was a high second. And with that, we traded up for. And then Evans was our first round.
Yeah, that's good. Well, you got any more thoughts on the game Sunday, tomorrow? Jeez.
So I'm not going to watch it live because I'll be at work. And every time I watch live at work, we lose. When I record it, we won against the Bills. So I'm going to continue with the tradition. Hopefully that helps us. I'll do what I can for the team.
If we get absolutely slaughtered, do you want me to give you a heads up to save you the 3 hours?
Oh, I checked the score.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you went in blind or if you just like.
Yeah, if we get destroyed, I'm not going to waste my time watching it.
I always tell everybody this is like my favorite, like trying to like watch a game on delay story ever. This is years ago. This isn't like when like Comcast Xfinity first added DVR to like an option on the box. Like TiVo's been around forever, but you had to be like a rich person to have TiVo back in the day. And then Comcast Xfinity added like DVR to like their automated service. And so I was working, I think it was Jim and Nick still, or maybe, I don't know. But for some reason I had to work on a Sunday. The Titans were playing the Chargers. This is when I think Billy Volek was our quarterback. That seems like way too long ago, but I don't know. But we're playing the Chargers, who back in the day, the Philip Rivers Errors, that was like the ultimate team we couldn't beat was Philip Rivers and the Chargers.
Yeah, I remember.
I DVR'd the game at my parents' house. And so I came to their house. It was about a time in the game where I knew the game was still on. So I asked my mom, she was standing out on the front porch, asked her like, hey, is the game on in the living room? Because I didn't want to walk through the living room and like see the score, like hear anything about the game, because I was going to go to the downstairs at my parents' house to watch it on DVR. And I looked at her and I said, hey, is the game on in the living room? And she said, yeah. And I was like, well, shit, now I don't have to watch it. You just gave me that face that lets me know we're getting killed. I don't have to watch the game anymore. Thanks, Mom. Which it was great because it saved me 3 hours. I didn't go back and watch it. I just asked my dad, what happened? He goes, throw interceptions over the field. Don't know what the hell they're doing. Bullshit. And I was like, all right, good. I wanted to watch it, but it saved me 3 hours. So
we were so bad for so long.
It is nice to like. Sometimes you have to like calm yourself down and be like, all right, it sucked we lost to the Jets. It sucked we didn't get all the way to the Super Bowl the last 2 years. But I mean, just like 3 years ago, we were the worst team in the NFL. Like, we had like multiple like top 5 picks for years. The post Kerry Collins era, ugh. Jake Locker,
it's real bad.
Jake Locker set this franchise back a decade.
Just for nostalgia, I went back and looked at some of the old Vanderbilt seasons with James Franklin just to remember when we were good. He had like a really fucking good record at Vandy. Like his win-loss record was ridiculous to beat Vandy.
There was one season coming in, I remember, and it came nowhere close. But like I think like Florida and Georgia had both like graduated some like really good players, and we were coming off like a what would be considered a phenomenal season for us. And I was like thinking like everybody in the East is a little down. There is like a 10% chance we win
The year
games,
that we
can
beat
win the
Auburn,
East.
but then like we won 5 in a row or something,
Yeah.
and beat Auburn, and then we lost to Mississippi State, and that sent our downward spiral. But that year, I was like, we may do it. We may make it to the East.
Game day came to Nashville that year at the Auburn game. I went to the Auburn game, so I was like at game day over on Vandy's campus. It was like crazy. I'm like, I can't believe freaking game days at Vandy. They probably had to be like, this is the only time we're ever going to go to Vandy. We got to make sure we do it.
Yeah.
All right. So you got any thoughts on the Braves game tonight?
No, I just hope they win. # kill the narrative.
I got really excited this morning when like the news came out that like Scherzer wasn't going to pitch. I was like, yes, no Scherzer, exactly the news we wanted. And then like about like 3:00, it came out like Walker Buehler is going to pitch for the Dodgers. I was like, dadgummit, I forgot they have like 10 good pitchers.
Yeah,
like,
they're ridiculous.
I feel like tonight is like kind of the all or nothing game for us because like we've got, I'm assuming, I haven't even seen, but I assume Ian Anderson is pitching tonight.
Yes.
So yeah, so like, and there's no way if we go to game 7 that I can't imagine Charlie Morton or Max would be available on short rest. So feels like, and I guess Huskers hurt himself again or whatever. So
if we lose again after being up 3-1 2 years in a row, I'm done with baseball.
Yeah, we were up 2-0, then we're up 3-1. That's why I say it's got to happen tonight because I feel like if we lose tonight, it almost seems like we're almost definitely going to be going with like a bullpen game 7. Our bullpen's already pitched way too much in this series, so that doesn't seem good. Because if Scherzer set out today, I would think he would be ready by tomorrow. So if they win tonight and they have Scherzer versus our bullpen, I don't like that. I don't think that's a good. I was watching like one of the games. I think I was watching like the last game where they just killed us, and I was like thinking, God, why do we keep pitching to this guy? And then I was like, well, they've got like 10 guys in their lineup that are like that. Like, why do we keep pitching to this guy? I'm like, well, you have to pitch to somebody. They've got too many good players. Yeah. It's not fair. The Dodgers are cheating. The Dodgers are the new Astros. I don't know how they're cheating somehow. They've got too many good players.
Well, we need fucking salary cap in baseball.
Here. Just not till we give Freddie his max deal, though.
Yes.
Let's give Freddie a huge contract, then bring the salary cap in after that. Because we've already got Acuna locked up. So if we get Freddie locked up, those are all grandfathered in. Then we can go to a salary cap. I'm fully on board with that.
All right. Well, I'm going to hop off here. Peace out, everybody. Did anybody watch?
There's like 1 or 2. No comments came in, though. But this will be up for review if people want to watch it between now and then. And I've actually been putting these up as podcasts now. They are available on iTunes and Spotify if you want to listen to this in audio form. Go subscribe and give it 5 stars.
Are they free?
Yeah, you don't have to pay a dime for it. It's the first time ever you could get my videos or my audio or any of my content for free. We've charged up until this point.
All right, I got to hop off here.
Bye. Okay. Good stuff from Kyle as always. He's a ball of energy and full of entertainment. Before we go, I do have to preview there is one more huge game, at least in my life, coming up this weekend. Tomorrow before, and I hate this, it always seems to happen this way with like the biggest games Manchester United plays are always scheduled in a window where there's no way for me to watch them, then go to the Titans game. Manchester United, Liverpool, 10:30 local time tomorrow. It's a weird period of time right now because I feel very pessimistic about 3 huge games in the next like 12 hours, 32 hours. I don't know. I'm not a mathematician. We start with Braves Dodgers game 6 tonight. Like I said, have to get the win tonight because I feel like if we go to game 7, we got no chance because we're almost definitely going to be doing a bullpen game versus Max Scherzer. Don't want to be in that situation. Have to get the win tonight. Have to close out the series tonight. Although it looks like the Astros are just a buzzsaw waiting to kill us even if we get there. So what's the point almost? Then 10:30 tomorrow, local time where I am, Manchester United, Liverpool. Not the time you want to be playing Liverpool right now if you're Manchester United. We seem to have, we started out the season pretty good. Things seem to be clicking pretty well. And it feels like all of our weaknesses, all the things we're missing have started to like come to roost. fact that we have nobody who's realistically a CDM, but Fred is our best option as a 6. That's not going to win you many games, and Liverpool seems to have gotten back to their championship form at the worst possible time. Salah looks like the best player in the world again. Virgil van Dijk's shutting people down. Not a great time for that. I do not have high hopes for that game. And it could be the last nail in Ole's coffin if he doesn't put it together well. Then Titans Chiefs. We've talked enough about that game and what we think about it. So I guess my final thoughts would be it's going to be really sad if this little stretch of games goes 0-3. And if it does go 0-3, Braves Dodgers tonight, Liverpool United in the morning, or Titans Chiefs in the afternoon. If we're going 0-3 into that stretch, and then I have a game 7 with the Braves and Dodgers tomorrow night, check on your boy. Check on your boy tomorrow night if there's a game 7 Braves Dodgers. Check my Twitter, check my Instagram, check my YouTube page, check out everywhere, because I don't know if I can handle 3 catastrophic losses in 24 hours is going to be rough. If we get to that game 7, which I cannot see us winning if we get to that game 7, and we have 4 catastrophic losses in like a 24-hour period, check on your boy. Thanks for watching or listening or whatever you did. Subscribe wherever you're at on YouTube, Spotify, or iTunes. I want to keep doing this because it's fun for me, whether it is for you or not. Thank you.